welcome to the Paragon Financial Partners Podcast, where we discuss the markets, our strategies, and how to live better today while planning for tomorrow. Hello, and welcome to the Paragon Podcast. I'm Eliot Mendoza, and I'm here with Evan Shorten, our firm's founder and principal. We wanted to make a quick podcast to address some of the news surrounding Greece, and perhaps more importantly, some of the concerns surrounding China as well.
Hello, this is Evan Shorten, and thank you for listening to our podcast. So with all the market volatility surrounding Greece and China, I thought there were a few points that I would bring to you. Ultimately, in regards to Greece, there are a few specific points. One, it's important to recognize that Greece is import-centric. For example, they are importing 50% of their food and 80% of their energy. In addition to that, over 80% of their citizens are failing to file taxes, which is a big part of Greece's debt problems because they're not bringing revenue in to cover government employee salaries, pension obligations, or the service of their own debt. Now, Greece is facing a July 20th deadline. If Greece does not agree to new terms on their debt and satisfy the 3.5 billion euro obligation to the European Central Bank, then they will need to decide whether to issue a parallel currency or IOUs, and in turn devaluing their currency and potentially starting anew. So what does all of this really mean for you in particular is, well, not that much. The media is really making a mountain out of a molehill and creating more volatility than is needed. In reality, Greece is so small that it is very similar in size to either Detroit, Miami, or Minneapolis. Not all of those combined, each of those independently. In addition, we've seen this type of default in the past, even much larger. In fact, in the early 2000s, we saw this with Argentina. So again, Greece is a very small piece of the puzzle. What I think is even more important to talk about is what's happening in China. Over the last year, the Chinese stock market has increased by about 150%. Well, that was up until 3 weeks ago when the Chinese stock market started to decline. And since that began, again 3 weeks ago, the Chinese market is down about 30%. So this drop has evaporated about $3 trillion in assets. What China has been trying to figure out is how to move its economy from one that is based on planned infrastructure with roads, housing, and other construction to an economy that is based on consumption or consumer-driven. The Chinese government has failed so far, and that's even with significant cuts in interest rates and policy changes. There will likely need to be even more changes. However, a lot of this may not be solved until the surplus capacity is worked out in both industry and real estate. With the easing of credit, there are still little signs of an uptick in fiscal spending, and ultimately there needs to be a reduction in inventories where there is overcapacity, and incentives to reallocate resources to more productive sectors. Another big concern for China is its large balance sheet, which is over $5 trillion. What is most important in all of this is that you're okay, stay calm, and not allow the headlines to actually get in your head. The financial markets will undoubtedly provide uncertainty, and with uncertainty comes opportunity. We are seeing opportunities in the market. Please do not allow the media headlines to sway your financial security and optimism. Your financial psychology should be focused on your world and how we create longer-term financial security for you, not the short-term movements in terms of the financial markets. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening, and please feel free to share this with your loved ones.
Paragon Financial Partners, Inc. is a registered SEC investment advisor. The broadcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as a solicitation or offer to purchase or sell securities. The financial strategies and guidelines discussed herein may not be appropriate for everyone, as each individual circumstance is unique. Please review all tax information with your tax professional. Please review all legal information with your legal professional. We hope you enjoyed the Paragon Financial Partners podcast. And again, thank you for listening.